You now bring in our international affairs editor, Kethevane Gorjestani. Kethevane, good to see you. We've had a number of incidents in the past, say, 2 weeks here in Europe. It seems that both Europe and NATO are finally taking the drone threat seriously.
Yes, and it took quite a bit for them to actually take that threat seriously. We're talking about now 4 NATO members that had their airspace violated by a drone, suspected Russian drones: Poland, Romania, Estonia, and Denmark. So you're really seeing the Europeans especially sort of grapple with the reality that they have in front of them now, and they're now grappling with the seriousness and with how do we respond to those incursions by drones. Now you're seeing a lot of countries. You heard what the French president said. Ursula von der Leyen, as well as leaders from a lot of the Baltic states or the eastern flank states, are now talking outright about putting the shooting down of those different aircraft on the table.
That's something the U.S. president floated as well.
And he said that, yes, he would be okay with a NATO member shooting down a Russian fighter jet in that case if it violated the airspace. So you're seeing a sort of escalation of that. But the question of the drones is very specific, because if you take the example of what happened with the Polish airspace, you had around 20 drones that went into Polish airspace. What happened there? They scrambled NATO fighter jets and they took down 3 or 4 drones. All the other ones got away. And when you think about it, scrambling multi-million-dollar fighter jets to go and shoot down a couple of very cheap Russian drones, for example, is not a very cost-effective way to defend your airspace. And it's also not a very good ratio. 3 or 4 drones downed out of 20. That's not exactly great. So yes, the NATO eastern flank does have the defense capabilities. They have the fighter jets. They have the missiles. But that's not what you need when you're fighting with these small drones. And that was exactly part of the warning and the plea of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday at the podium at the UN General Assembly, when he was talking about the fact that the drones are the new arms race. And he said, look, we know how to deal with them. We've been producing them, and you should take example on us because we have it tried and tested in an actual war, and we're doing pretty well when it comes to that.
So what is the plan going forward?
Well, look, now that they've actually taken this seriously, there is increasing talk about the so-called drone wall. This was something that Ursula von der Leyen mentioned in her State of the Union address earlier this month, and there are increasing calls for that to actually take hold. This is something that the Baltic states asked for funding for before the summer, and it was rejected by the European institutions. And now they're pushing at it again, and it seems that they've gotten an open ear from the institutions. There's going to be a meeting of the 7 eastern flank states. That's Finland, the 3 Baltic states, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria. Maybe now Denmark is going to be joining, so that they can figure out how to best put this drone wall into action and in becoming a reality, because this is something that they know they're going to have to deal with, and not in 3 years' time, 5 years' time. They need to do it right now in the next few months, if not more.
We'll see if this escalation continues in the days and weeks to come. Thank you very much for that, Kethevane.